right. Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, everybody, too. Welcome to Monday Morning Coffee with Kyle and Ann. I'm Ann Rossley. I'm here with my dear friend and colleague, Kyle Harvey. We are in Baird Warner's Gold Coast office, and we sell real estate in downtown Chicago. We love coming to you every week, talking about what's going on in the Chicago real estate market. Right, Kyle?
Absolutely. And this has been a surprisingly busy time. Have you been finding that this holiday season is busier than others?
Yeah. It very much feels that way, and I've got some information during stats.
Excellent. Let's
That
go.
was that. So, we're going to talk stats today, like usual, everybody. Then we're going to go deep diving into the home buying process, talking about some things to make sure our buyers understand what's going on. Then I'm going to show you a listing, and then we're going to do pretty properties. So, that said, I am going to remove our names before I go. I'm learning. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to start off with this slide, which is not typical, but
Look at that.
yes. And of course, now I can't find it on my screen. So give me 1
I
second.
see it.
That's the important thing. If you see it. Okay, here we go. So these are, every week we get a snapshot, as you know, Kyle, from MRED that talks about what's going on, but it's all of Chicagoland. And a lot of it is like how many properties are on the market, blah, blah, blah. We'll get into North Chicago in a minute. But what I found most interesting from all of these graphs was the one we're looking at right now, which shows the number of showings taking place. And it always starts fresh in January. And then whatever that first week of showings is in January, that's the normal for the rest of the year. And that's why you see it all start off here at 0. Okay. So 2020 was weird. It's the dark black. Yeah. That was because we had nothing going on, and then it sprung high. Orange is what's happening right now, and the light gray is what happened in 2019. And so you can see skip it all over the place, apologies. So in a normal year, we start out, and then we go up in March, April, May, and then it tracks along. Yeah. And so you can see that we were pretty much tracking along what was going on in 2019. Now, look at us this week.
So much higher.
And we're coming up to match up now, finally, with 2020. We're really close.
That reflects my experience. I got to tell you, people are out and about and looking. There are a lot of serious buyers still out there.
Absolutely. I just find it really fascinating and it'll bear itself out in the numbers too in a second.
Well, that same graphic, which I also share on LinkedIn, shows that the number of active listings is way down, considering how many active buyers there are out in the market. So people, if you're thinking, now's a good time.
Yeah, it sure is. Today, we're going to talk just about North Chicago Township, which, as you know, is the river with Fullerton Avenue on the north and the lake on the east. Okay. Number of homes for sale. I broke this out by price point because I thought that was interesting to look at. In terms of, here we go, under 500. Obviously, there are more properties under 500,000 than any other price zoom.
Is this cross or single family?
This is attached and detached.
Okay.
Both.
Yeah, that makes sense then. Yep.
Yeah. The other thing I did was resale only on this.
Ooh, good.
Because those new constructions that languish out there that don't mean much, and we'll get to that in a second. But anyway, so 965 properties, as you can see, here we are. It's down 40%, the number of homes versus last year in November.
Wow.
That's a huge drop. Same is true for the 500 to $1 million, down 37.5%.
Wow.
Million to 2 million, down 32%. There are only 218 of those and 165 that are 2 million or more. Again, down 27%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Now, number of homes under contract. Again, this is by month.
Wow.
But see, look, here's the deal. We're down, but we're
We're not.
certainly not down as low as other times, right?
Wait, we're up 7.6% over last year, right?
Yes. When I say down, I'm talking about from the high.
Yeah, but that's spring market. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. I know. Isn't it crazy? I
Wow.
mean, versus last year, and last year felt so busy, right?
Felt so busy. Because people were home. It wasn't like you had to decorate your house for the holidays.
Right.
You were looking for the next home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in all price points, we're up.
Wow.
Interestingly, it appears that the lower price market was less affected. So it was like,
That just keeps humming. It's just humming.
Yeah, exactly right. Number of homes closed in November versus November of 2020. Look at 2 million or more. The luxury market's on fire. Granted, only 16,
Fire.
but that's twice as much as it was last year at this time.
Wow.
Yeah. Million to 2 million, up 65%. 500,000 or less is up 50%. And I think this is pretty bread and butter, but still up 20%.
It's incredible. For the end of the year, usually not this kind of activity.
Exactly. All right. Now, this says November dollar volume at the top, but it's actually year-to-date numbers. And again, at the bottom, it says single family, but what it really means is attached and detached together. Okay. So let's look at it again. Here we are looking at the $1 million or less.
Mm-hmm.
Year-to-date, we're up 46% versus 2020.
Good Lord.
If you look at the $1 million to 2 million, we're up 78%.
This is only North Chicago, people, but it's very telling because we were hit hard. North Chicago was hit hard by
COVID and civil unrest.
And civil unrest. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, so look at this. So $1 million to 2 million, up 78% year to date. This is not just one little snapshot. This is January to November 2021 versus 2020. And then look at the luxury, 2 million and up is up 91%.
And there's a lot closing this month. There's a lot under contract that looks like it'll close by the end of the year.
Yeah. All right. So this is, I did all price points on this one just because I wanted to take away, what we were just looking at and just look at it big. These are the closed units. So if you look at closed units, all price points up 50% versus last year.
Wow.
Yeah. And last year was a little bit below 2019, but not by a whole lot.
Because April, May, and June were so disastrous.
But it was a very strong finish to the year, and that's why we were so
very strong.
But look at that, up 49% in units. Okay. Month supply of homes, you know me, I always have to talk about that. And I wanted to look at it again by price point. So if you look at 500 and less, there's only 2.9 months of inventory. Again, we're at North Chicago Township only here. It's down 59% versus last year. So I think, the reason these numbers are so dramatic is that our sales continue to be strong, but the number of homes for sale continues to dwindle. So we've got lots of activity with very little, out there to choose from. And that's why these numbers, look the way they do. 2.9 months here, down 59%. The blue line's 500 to 1 million, only 3.1 months, which is down 56%. Million to 2 million, only 4.4 months. And, probably over 2016, 17, 18, 19, we were at like 9-10 months of inventory on the luxury market. No. And now it's down to 4.4 and only 8.5 months on the 2 million and up.
Can we pause here for a second? What are the folks watching from home may be wondering, why on earth are you looking at month supply? What does that mean? What that means is the leverage that a buyer is going to have in negotiations with a seller on price. The longer a property has been on the market for certain types of properties, the more leverage you will have in negotiations on price. If there are 2.93 months of inventory, you will have probably very little leverage unless the seller is dramatically off in their own pricing. So just that's why we share it, is how tight is this market for you as a buyer, and how exciting a market is for you as a seller.
Right. And to your point, we call this very much a seller's market.
In the lower price properties, it is a seller's market.
Right. If you're under 6 months, then we call it a seller's market. When you're over 6 months, it's more of a buyer's market, but it's always
Or
a buyer's
balance,
market.
yeah. By
But
8, you're sort of more of a buyer's market.
yeah. And another way to say it is, if if nothing was added to the market in terms of new listings, it would take, in this case, 2.9 months or almost 3 months to sell out everything. And that's not much time at all.
No, considering how long it takes. Yeah.
Right. So to summarize, there's not as much on the market today. Certainly there's less on the market today than there was a year ago at this time. However, the interest and buyer demand is as strong or stronger than it was last year at this time. So we're seeing a real pressure in terms of buying.
Do you think that people are anticipating a rise in interest rates, so they're like saying, "Oh, I got to do this now"?
I do. I do think that's right. Interest rates are so good. You and I have heard lots of people's input. I've heard, tell me if you've heard the same thing, that we're going to see a little tick up, but it's not like they're going to go through the roof in 2022.
No,
So
but every little tick is spending its coffee money. It's fancy coffee money.
yeah, absolutely right.
Absolutely. Well, that was so interesting, Anne. What's up next?
Next, you're going to get us through the home buying process.
Okay, so I have a bunch of buyers out right now, and I thought, because I get so used to share screen. Hold on. I figure everyone knows sometimes what's going on and how we go, and so here's just a quick summary of the buying journey, and we'll talk about each step just a little bit. But for most of the people watching, this is a repeat of some of the points we keep making. First step is organize how you're going to finance the purchase. Some people are lucky enough to pay cash, but most of us are going to need to get a mortgage. And with rates so low, and with all the different products these mortgage lenders have out there, you might actually find out you can buy more property. And when rates are low, buy as much property as you can, meaning space, meaning price point, meaning luxuries, as you can, for this cheap money. So
right. One of the things that I'm here, I don't know, I'm hearing a lot of talk of inflation, and the one piece of advice, and I did not major in finance or economics in college, so I'm like, take it or leave my advice. I'm just telling you what I'm hearing, is that when you have inflation, you want to have debt at the lowest price and have it fixed. So I'm not saying it's going to happen, I'm saying if you believe that we are going to see some inflation in the coming years, then your best bet would be to get some long-term debt and lock in your rate, which means, and especially when you think this stock market's a little squishy, put that money into hard asset, real estate, get this low interest rate and lock it in.
They call real estate a hedge against inflation. And that is absolutely true. The basket of goods that consumers have includes housing. And if you can set and fix your housing costs, taxes are going to change a bit. But if you fix the major components of your housing costs, you will be doing yourself a huge favor as we move forward.
Absolutely.
This is not a joke. So we're also seeing, for that reason, more investors out there purchasing real estate because they want to get into secure assets and park their money somewhere safe. So this is real estate is a good investment. Okay. So anyway,
So let me just say one more thing. And your point about financing the property. How much do you want to put down? Do you want a 30-year fix? Do you want a 15-year? Do you want to do some kind of arm? I don't know why, but somebody might. If there are any issues, just figure them out before you even start.
well, interestingly, the ARMs, the adjustable rate mortgages. I remember when I bought back in the late 90s, people were like, I don't know, an ARM. An ARM adjusts according to the prime interest rate. After a certain period, it can move up or down. And I always worried, like, well, then it'll go really far up because in the past we had really high interest rates.
Right.
And they have always been a good deal. Now, during that same period, we've had record low, steady low inflation. We're not in the record low, steady low inflation. So a fixed rate mortgage may make sense, but talk to a mortgage specialist. They'll give you the real scoop.
Right.
Okay. Determining wants and needs. So that's finding out how much you can borrow is step one. Step two is what do you need? And that's first. Really know what you need and then get thinking about, well, I'd love some outdoor space. I'd love a sauna. I'd love a this or that. So really focus on the needs. The needs can be schooling. The needs can be close to work. The needs could be close to family. The needs could be, it's bedrooms, baths, things like that. Outdoor space, security, one level. You want a house, you want multiple levels, you want a basement to get the kids out of, a place where they can go play and not drive you nuts. All of that stuff. Pet friendly. All these things are your needs. And then you get your wants. We'll take you on a tour of properties. And what do you think? I find that there are two types of buyers. Ones who just want to see things that they know fit their basket of wants and needs, 5, 6, 10 properties, and then the ones who want to see everything.
Right.
What's your sense of how people are these days?
Well, you bring up an interesting point about how many properties is the right number of properties to see before you can make a decision. And when do you know that this is the right property for you, right? And
I sometimes find seeing too many blurs the values of each one and makes it harder to make a decision.
I think that's what my son's going through right now. But no, that's absolutely right. I mean, you look at too many, it gets a little confusing. And you're right. You need to go back to what's critical to you. In preparing for today's show, I was reading the mistakes that buyers make. Mm-hmm. And it was funny. Looking at too few and looking at too many were both mistakes that you can make. And, we as agents can help you. I had somebody out yesterday and I said to her in the car, can you see yourself living in any of the properties that we saw today? And she said, well, I could live in this one or I could live in this one. But, that's what you have to say to yourself. Could I live here? Is it meeting the requirements? How much of it is requirements? How much is fluff? And how much is it just that I feel good because they've staged the property versus it being vacant and dirty, right?
Vacant and dirty is a problem. So that is very true. Too few and too many. It was interesting. I had a client a couple of years ago who gave me the wants and needs and the wants, and I threw in a wild card just because I thought, well, this is a great property and I love this building, and here it is. This client bought the wild card. It was not what was said, what he said he wanted, but it ended up being the exact right home. So let us throw in a wild card.
Yes.
Because oftentimes that can be the one. You never thought about it and it becomes the one.
Well, and you bring up a really good point because there's transparency in real estate more today than ever before. And our buyers will sometimes come to us and say, I want to see these 5 properties. and they kind of select whatever. But yeah, sometimes we can show them something they hadn't been thinking about, or maybe it's just this outside of what they told us. And I think it happens probably at least 50% of the time that somebody will end up buying not exactly what they started out to buy because they found, something somewhere else. I think
And
it's
you
really good.
mentioned transparency. The fact that there are pictures on the internet doesn't mean it's transparent. Very often they are, I mean, I try and take pictures of my listings that are the most attractive from the best angle.
Right, right.
And, you're not going to see, ugh.
Well,
So,
and yeah, driving up to them is very different than seeing it online. How does that neighborhood feel to you? With this buyer yesterday, we were in one property and she's like, this is not at all what I expected from the pictures. It's way bigger. I don't know what they did with the photographs, but it's way bigger in person than it was. And then another one, it's like, this is way smaller than I thought it was. So
yeah.
yeah.
So let us throw in something for you. And remember that seeing everything may feel good, but what it might do instead is make it harder for you. Then Ann and I, as your brokers, will do a deep dive into your top prospects to help you understand the difference in terms of price per square foot, location, tax, all the basket of money you're going to pay each month versus also where the neighborhood seems to be going, appreciating, stagnant, etc. So that's oh my gosh, we keep talking. Anyway, I'm looking at the time and getting a little worried. Then with that information, we'll help craft a compelling offer. And one of the really compelling things that, and price, earnest money closing date, contingencies, but what the buyer needs from to sell. Sometimes they need to sell in January. And you're like, okay.
What do you mean what the seller needs to sell? Right,
yes,
right.
what the seller
We'll
needs.
have a conversation with that listing agent and say, what's the seller looking for? What's most important to the seller? And often we can craft a contract that works for the buyer and it works for the seller to really put it together, because win-win negotiation is really important in the home buying process.
And then finally, there are post-acceptance steps: attorney review, inspection, possibly an appraisal, though with rising values, sometimes the lenders skip the appraisal, final repairs, walkthrough, and closing. So those, after the contract is done, there are a bunch of steps, and we can go into them later.
Right.
Okay.
But that's it in a nutshell. Lots of details. I hope people don't get nervous about all these steps, because that's what we're here for.
Exactly. All right, let's see your new listing.
Okay. So this is on the private listing network, or will be as of the end of today.
Look how pretty that is.
Isn't that lovely? They've done some facade work lately, and this is in well, it's actually Gold Coast, Streeterville. Well, that's in that story for a different day, but this is 220 East Walton. It's a small luxury boutique condo building. This is not a co-op, it's a condo building. There are only 2 units per floor. This is the dramatic entryway. Isn't that stunning? Beautiful. This is listed on the private network for $1,349,000.
Mm-hmm.
It's 4 bedroom, 4 bath. There's the living room.
Look at that honeycomb ceiling. Beautiful.
They added that. Isn't that cool? And it reflects the same detail that you see in the lobby of this building, which is so lovely. We are pulled out to see, this room is enormous. As you can see, this is a grand piano, and then you still have 2 seating areas.
Is it a grand or a baby grand? That's huge.
Yeah, this is kitchen.
Wow. Looks gorgeous.
Isn't that nice? Eat-in kitchen, lots of counter space. Another angle of the kitchen.
Very nice. Oh,
here's the dining room. And you can't really look. This is a huge table. This is the little bar area with a refrigerator. It's adorable. Mm-hmm. There you can see it opened up and see how pretty that is.
And then more honeycomb, it looks like. It looks beautiful.
Yeah. This is one of the bedrooms, the 4th bedroom that was turned into a study. And look how beautiful this is. And then you've got the office back there. Another look, and it flows into the living room there. So it's great entertaining space. Okay, primary bedroom here.
Mhm.
2 angles, primary
Beautiful.
bath. Look how lovely that is. Oh, this is the 4th bedroom. Okay, this is the second primary. Call it the second primary. It's the second bedroom. It's as big as the primary. The
Cute.
baths have all been redone.
Yeah,
Aren't
nice.
they great? So
So
that's it.
good. That's a goodie.
Isn't that a lovely? I mean, don't have to do a thing.
Excellent. I've got an investor special about to go on the market probably mid-month at the Ambassador House. It's a one-bedroom that's got, I don't even have pictures because it's finishing. But it is something, if somebody comes in and makes it great.
Yeah, and if you're thinking about a 1-bedroom, people, this is one you really need to consider. Kyle took me through it to see it, and it's going to be priced at a place where you can buy it, make it your own. It's like what is it, 925, 950 square feet? It's a
950.
huge 1-bedroom, huge, and beautiful and gracious, and in the heart of the Gold Coast. It is just a wonderful.
But it needs work.
But we can help you find contractors for that too.
Absolutely. Okay, so now I'm going to show you. This is a shout out to loyal viewer Tom Rossley.
And he said he wants to see pretty homes.
He's like, ladies, give me the pretty homes. So this is the Tom Rossley pretty home version of our pretty home show. So I looked for 2 bedrooms limit. It's only 2-bedroom apartments. And they're attached properties, so condos, co-ops, etc. And over $1 million, because who doesn't need to see expensive homes today? So this is the Palmolive building, 159 East Walton.
Yeah.
And this is on the market this is the most expensive pretty home we've got, for $3.2 million.
Okay.
Almost 3,000 in assessments. So I thought I'd give you the floor plan. This is a huge place. It's almost 3,000 square feet. So yes, there are 2 bedrooms, but holy moly, some of these could be bedrooms too. But look at all that space. Big main bedroom at the that's not the back, that faces north, and then the second bed, really pretty apartment. Expansive. So here it's very traditionally decorated, but I thought that who doesn't need pretty? And look at that beautiful view of the lake. Oh.
Do you remember what floor this is on by chance?
Yes, I do. This is 14A.
Okay, so it's higher up. Yeah, there's some lovely units in that building that don't have good views. So to get one like that with a view is spectacular.
Well, for $3.2 million, you're going to get a view. And I always feel that it's important to show a beautiful closet. And these people do what we always ask our sellers to do. They got rid of 2/3, maybe 3/4 of their stuff to make it look like a ginormous closet.
That's gorgeous, yeah.
My second property is at 30 West Oak, which is another beautiful building. It's where the old Dr. Scholl's school was, across from Ogden School. And they've redone the lobby. So instead of giving you the outside, I'm giving you the pretty new inside. Isn't that pretty? So this is a different feel. So I've turned it sideways so you get a sense. It's facing south and west. And they've got a nice big terrace. So this is a 2-bedroom. The second bedroom it looks even smaller in the pictures than the 13 by 12. But here we go.
That's because your living area is so enormous. That's why it looks smaller, but it's a good sized bedroom.
Yeah, it's a good size. Well, the second bedroom, interestingly, as I look at this now, doesn't have a window. But who cares, because of all the other windows.
Yeah.
Look at that. That is your view. And yes, there are automatic blinds built in because you've got to block that view. This is on the market for $195.
And I love the terraces in this building. They're big, they're covered. You can put a heat lamp out there and use them a good part of the year.
Yes. And so they've got this nice galley kitchen built into the living room, but it sort of flows nicely. This is the view from the bedroom.
Oh, wow.
And look at what I really liked is how modern it is, but yet the warmth of the wood. They've done that sort of throughout. And here's another view of the other side of the main
Wow,
bedroom.
they paid up to cover that HVAC unit there. Look at
Yes, but it looks great, doesn't
it. It
it?
does. It really does.
So this is the second bed. Oh, it does have a window. Where's that window? It doesn't show it on the floor plan, but that's the second bedroom's window.
Okay.
And then there's this cute little
Oh,
office behind the living room and the kitchen and the main and that second bedroom looking out on this. I'd have a desk out here. Wouldn't you have a desk out here?
yeah, that's so
Just for
awesome.
work from home. Okay, so that's a beauty. And now this for something totally different.
Okay.
This is 2,800, a little over 2,800 square foot loft in the West Loop is on the market for 1.4 million.
Is that 1,000 Washington?
It is 1017 West Washington.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's a great building.
So I apologize. This is Kyle on Canva and making the floor plan. So but I wanted to get in both. So this has sort of a 2-story, well, it's really 1 story, a big long loft. It's 28, as I said, 2,800 square feet, but look at all this outdoor space.
Yeah.
They have this there. Keep showing you. Hold on. So it's long and thin and sort of, but listen.
Ooh, that's fun.
If you like sort of this funky living, here you go. A very different vibe.
Yeah.
And then there's this spiral staircase, and that's sort of a ladder-like staircase up to a bird's nest office that also leads to outdoor space. Look at all
Oh,
this
look at that.
space. I mean, so much. So there are 2 decks, not just 1. So I'd put up some sort of structure up here if you were allowed to. Certainly some sort of pergola just to break the sun. But look at that. How gorgeous is that?
Mm.
Oh, they do have one over the dining table. I mean, wowza. And that's an example of the bedroom. So.
And the price on that one again was?
1.4 million.
Okay.
All righty. So that's all I got for pretty homes.
That's great stuff.
Yay.
That's great stuff. Well, maybe we should take a minute to talk about the rest of the month. Next week, we're getting together, same time, same place right here. And we've talked about our topics. It's going to be a great show. Then we're taking a couple weeks off for the holidays, and then we'll be back after the first of the year with great new stuff for everybody. So if there's a particular type of property you want us to showcase, let us know, as Tom Rossley did. And if there's a question you have that we can answer, let us know that as well. You can follow us on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channels. Anything else?
I think you've covered it.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing you all next week. Thanks so much for watching.